The story begins by showing us that some people are creating a star named Elizabeth Sparkle. Actually, Elizabeth is a very beautiful model who hosts a fitness show. People like Elizabeth so much that they come near her star and take selfies. But then, with time, people's attention towards this star started to decrease, and this star was shattered into pieces. This clearly indicated that people's interest in Elizabeth Sparkle was running out. The scene changes, and we are shown Elizabeth Sparkle, who was very beautiful during her youthful days. Elizabeth was discussed everywhere, but now she has grown old, and today is her 50th birthday. Elizabeth still hosts this show. After the show's shooting, when Elizabeth starts to go to the washroom, she finds out that the ladies' washroom is closed for some reason. So she goes to the men's washroom, where the show's producer also arrives, and in this situation, Elizabeth secretly hides in a bathroom stall. Here, the producer was talking to someone on the phone, saying, "I want a new face for my show." Elizabeth is not like before now, where they used to get very high ratings because of Elizabeth. Now their TRP is going to decrease. No one wants to see Elizabeth on our show. Now I can't tolerate it anymore. I quickly need a young and beautiful model for my show. On the other hand, Elizabeth, hiding in the bathroom stall, was hearing all this. And hearing this, Elizabeth became very disappointed. The pride she had in her beauty was shattered today. She intently started looking at herself in the mirror, where many wrinkles had appeared on her face. She felt very sad hearing the producer's words, but now one of her sorrows was also that she was now being removed from the show. A little while later, the producer calls Elizabeth to a hotel, where the producer says, "Look, Elizabeth, you know that with time people need something new. What you were before, that thing is not in you anymore. So I also have to bring in another model to run my show." The producer's words had completely broken Elizabeth. She left the hotel and started going towards her home. But while driving, the producer's words were swirling in her head. After driving a little further, she saw that the large billboard that was installed on her was also being torn down. Seeing all this, her attention shifted from the road and she had an accident with an oncoming car. Fortunately, her life was saved in that accident and she did not get even a single injury. The doctor informs her, "All your reports are normal." But instead of being happy, Elizabeth breaks down in tears because now her career is about to be ruined. Before discharge, the doctor asks a very handsome male nurse to examine Elizabeth's spine. After the doctor leaves, that male nurse checks Elizabeth's spine and says, "You are a perfect candidate," and then he gives Elizabeth her clothes. While giving the clothes, Elizabeth's attention goes to the male nurse's hand where a strange kind of black mark was made. Now, as soon as she came out of the hospital, she felt that there was something in her pocket. When she takes it out, she finds out that the male nurse had left a note in her pocket. The message said, "It changed my life," and along with it was a pen drive on which the substance was written. As soon as Elizabeth reaches home, she plugs that pen drive into the TV and plays it where information about an injection named The Substance was being given. This substance was a magical injection, and this injection can give any old person a new, second, younger version of themselves. That is, by injecting this injection, a new, different person emerges from the body of that person, who may be the same previous person, but is younger and much more beautiful than before. But after using this injection, for 1 week, the new body will be active, and for 1 week the old body, along with this substance injection, another liquid was to be received, which keeps the two versions, i.e. the old body and the new body, joined together. But one thing is clearly stated, that they are both the same, and they both cannot escape their true form. All this seemed like a joke to Elizabeth, so she considered the substance drive a lie and threw it in the dustbin. After this, Elizabeth goes to a bar to dispel her worries, where she feels jealous seeing a young couple that no one is paying attention to me among so many people, after which she angrily comes home and starts throwing things here and there. When she sees herself in the mirror, she starts hating herself for how old she has become. She looks at her picture and thinks, there was a time when thousands of people were crazy about Eliza, but now no one is ready to take her in any film or show either. Eliza now wants to regain that fame at any cost, so she takes the biggest step of her life, and Eliza decides that she will create a new version of herself. After this, Eliza takes out that pen drive from the dustbin, calls the phone number given on it, and tells the company, "I have to order that substance." On the other hand, whoever was talking did not say much more. He just asked Elizabeth for her address, and then he told Elizabeth an address and disconnected the call. The next morning, Elizabeth reads the newspaper, where she sees an advertisement that the company she worked for had placed. Where Elizabeth worked, the advertisement read, "Elizabeth has been removed from the job, and a new model is now needed in the company in her place," which made her even more disappointed. Just then, she saw that the parcel she had ordered last night had arrived. When she opens that envelope, a number was written on a card inside it. Now, Elizabeth, without thinking, reaches the address mentioned on the phone last night. This was a very deserted place where no one was there. She moves forward and goes near the shelter in front. Now, using the card she got in the parcel, she opens the door of the shelter and goes inside. Inside, she finds many lockers. When this new version of Elizabeth saw herself in the mirror, she was stunned that this medicine worked amazingly. She became so beautiful and young that she could not have imagined. After admiring her beauty for a long time, she now stitches the waist of Elizabeth's old version, i.e. the old body, from where she had burst out. Where she attracts the attention of all the people present. The beauty of this version was many times more than before. After this, she goes straight to the audition for the show from which she was removed. But now, Ellie was in a new form, not the old look. There Ellie tells her name as Sue. Seeing Sue's beauty, everyone's eyes widened, and the producer also quickly selected Sue, just by looking at her, because Sue was so beautiful that no one could reject her. After being selected in the interview, it occurs to Sue that she also has to change her body every week, for which she lies to the producer that my mother is sick and I have to go to the village every week to take care of my mother. The producer accepts Sue's condition without thinking because he did not want to lose Sue at any cost, and he knew that their show's ratings were going to increase a lot because of Sue's beauty. In this way, 7 days are completed. That is, now the old body will be active for the next 7 days. Sue uses the switch kit here, as soon as their blood goes into each other's bodies. We see Eliza moving, and now Sue goes into an unconscious state. After changing bodies, Elizabeth attaches food to Sue's body and then goes to her show where she used to work before. There, the producer returns all her belongings to her and gives Elizabeth a gift and says, "Instead of modeling, you should sit at home and cook now." Hearing this, Elizabeth feels very bad. After this, Eliza returns home and spends the whole day sitting at home watching TV. Well, now the next day comes and Elizabeth is reading the newspaper and receives an envelope on which was written that her new kit has arrived. After this, she goes to get the kit and comes straight home with the kit. Eliza did not have any work now, so she spends the whole week watching TV. Now 7 days are completed and Eliza changes into Sue. That is, she activates her new body. Now this new body wanted to enjoy all the fun in the world. In such a situation, she was sometimes at home and sometimes not. So she gets scared that her truth might be revealed somewhere. Now Sue decides that she will break a wall of her house and hide Elizabeth's old body there. Sue, hitting the wall with a hammer, was making so much noise that her neighbor got very angry, and when the neighbor came to her in the mood to scold, Sue, his breath got stuck in his throat, seeing Sue because Sue was so beautiful. Instead of scolding Sue, he started telling her, "If you need my help, you can call me. I live nearby." Sue thanks him and closes the door, and then she comes inside, and after much effort, she creates a secret room inside which she hides Elizabeth's body and also keeps all of Eliza's pictures in this secret room. Sue was having a lot of fun in this new body, and she enjoys it a lot. She did not even know how 7 days passed in this enjoyment, and she forgets that today is the day of change. The food of her old body, Elizabeth's body, was also about to finish today. Sue also brings one of her friends home. While she was busy talking to her friend, suddenly blood started coming out of her nose. She makes her friend sit in the guest room and comes to the bathroom herself. After reaching the bathroom, more blood started coming out of her nose, and she started having very intense pain all over her body. Now she realized that today is the day of body change. But how would Sue change her body now? Because her friend was waiting for her on the other side. So she decides to remain active for one more day instead of changing her body, for which she extracts the substance from Elizabeth's body and injects it into her own body. Due to this, she gets well quickly, and she goes to her boyfriend, who tells her that she has suddenly become even more beautiful. Anyway, in this way the day passes, and the next morning we see Eliza when she was looking at herself in the mirror. Just then her attention suddenly goes to her finger, which was badly decomposed. It looked as if this finger belonged to a very old person, and she understands that all this has been done by Sue by extracting extra substance from her body. Now she worriedly calls the company and tells them all this. That person on the phone says, "There is no solution for this. If one body uses extra substance, then its effect will fall on the other body, meaning Elisa's finger will remain like this now, and if Sue makes any such mistake in the future, then some part of Elisa's body may decompose again." Hearing this, Elisa became very scared, and finally that phone person says, "You two are not two but one, so live together in harmony. Only then will both of you be able to enjoy your life." After this, that person disconnects the call and Eliza starts cleaning the house. Just then, her eyes suddenly fall on Eliza's poster. Eliza feels jealous looking at Sue's young body, and she turns off the TV. Eliza was getting bored sitting at home, so she comes to a restaurant, where she saw an old man who started talking strangely to Elizabeth. Just then, Eliza notices that he has the same mark on his hand as she had seen on the nurse's hand in the hospital. That is, this was the true form of that nurse. Now that old man tells Elizabeth that every time you change, you will feel lonely and you will feel jealous seeing your own version. In fear, Elizabeth starts to leave from there. Just then, that old man screams, "Has your new version started eating you?" Elizabeth leaves from there and reaches home because Sue had really started eating her, which was clearly visible on her finger. After reaching home, she calls one of her old friends. Elizabeth asks her friend to go out for dinner tonight, and Elizabeth's friend agrees for dinner. This friend of Elizabeth's has liked Elizabeth since childhood, but Elizabeth had ignored him a few times. Today, when there was no one left to ask Elizabeth, now she wants to be in a relationship with him. In the evening, Elizabeth gets ready. She wears very beautiful clothes and does makeup exactly like Sue, i.e. her new version. After getting ready, just as she was about to leave the house to meet her friend, her attention fell on Sue's billboard installed in front of her house. When she compares herself with Sue, all her confidence goes to zero. So in anger, she ruins all her makeup and cancels the plan to meet her friend and sits down on the sofa. Just then, her friend starts texting her repeatedly. But now, Elizabeth did not have the courage to reply. Due to depression, she eats a lot of food and falls asleep. The scene changes and we see Sue the next day. That is, Elizabeth had changed her body after being active for 7 days. Sue was doing her show. While she was dancing, a different kind of thing came out of her body. She quickly leaves the shooting and goes to the washroom. She removes that thing with her hand and brings it to her nerve and then takes it out. Seeing Sue finds out that it is a chicken leg piece that Elizabeth had eaten at night, but just then, Sue woke up. Actually, Sue was dreaming. In the morning, when Sue goes out for the show, she sees that Elizabeth has eaten a whole chicken last night. She realizes, that was why I had a dream about chicken at night. Now Sue calls the company to complain about Elizabeth that, I worked the whole week and Eliza just tosses food day and night. But that other person says the same thing, that you two are the same and you have to live together in harmony. After this, Sue leaves for her show. But as soon as she goes there, she gets scared seeing it because the show's people were packing the shooting stuff, and they inform her that the show will not run from now on. Sue could not understand what was happening, so she nervously goes to the producer, and the producer tells her that you will not work here now, but you will work on the biggest show of our network because our show's ratings have increased a lot because of you. Hearing this, tears came to Sue's eyes out of happiness. But the producer says that, for this, you may be called for training at any time. Sue says yes without thinking. Although this show was supposed to happen on the day when she had to change her body and go to the old body, Sue does not care about this and stays in this new version of hers for many days and to activate it. She keeps extracting the stabilizer from Elizabeth, her old body, and injecting it into her own body, which was having an effect on Elizabeth's old body. Now after many days, when Sue changed herself, we see that due to more serum coming out of its spine, half of its body had become old. Seeing this, Eliza gets very angry at Sue. Eliza quickly calls the company and tells them about this act of Sue. The person in the company says that what has happened has happened. Now it cannot be fixed again. But yes, if you still want to stop it, you can stop it and you can spend the rest of your life in this condition. Hearing this, Elizabeth refuses that calling person and hangs up the phone. Sue extracts the substance of the entire 3 months from Elizabeth's body at once and injects it into her own body. After this, the scene of 3 months later is shown, where Sue enjoys a lot without changing even once for the entire 3 months. And now, only 1 day was left for the New Year's Eve show. Sue had brought her new boyfriend home today. Hearing this, Sue's condition starts getting very bad, and she crawls and changes her body, and that boy was also hearing all these sounds of change in the room. He heard the sound of Sue screaming intensely, hearing which he felt that Sue was in danger. So he started coming towards the washroom to help Sue. But Elizabeth closes the washroom door at the right time, and Elizabeth asks that boy to leave. That boy quickly leaves from there. After hearing Elizabeth's so frightening voice, we see that Elizabeth has become very old, and along with this, her hair has also fallen out from her head. She could not walk properly due to old age. Elizabeth was very scared now. She calls the company and says that, I want to stop all this right here. The company agrees to her words and asks her to go and get the Terminator injection. After this, Elizabeth completely covers her body and limps to get the termination kit. After bringing the Terminator injection home, she had just started injecting it into Sue's body. Just then, she remembered the words of her company manager. He had said that if you inject the Terminator once, then the body you are in at this time will remain the same forever. Just thinking this, she did not inject the Terminator. But when her eyes fell on her own picture, Eliza looked very beautiful in the picture, and when Eliza saw her condition at this time, she had become very terrifying, and Sue was behind this. So Elisa got angry at Sue again, and she injected the Terminator into Sue's body, but she had still injected only half the serum. When she suddenly realized that she still has to host a very big show, which will give her very great fame. In this greed, she had injected half the serum, but let the remaining serum remain. Now she started to wake Sue up. After trying to wake her up for a long time, when Sue did not wake up, she thought of changing the body. But when the body did not change either, Eliza extracted the activator from her spine and injected it into Sue's heart, due to which Sue woke up. Here we see that the two versions are standing alive in front of each other. Seeing this, both of them are now surprised, and they do not understand what is happening. Just then, Sue's eyes fall on the Terminator injection, and she understands that Eliza was trying to kill her. Seeing this, Sue becomes very angry. She beat Elizabeth so much in her anger that she died. After killing Elizabeth, she realized that she had made a very big mistake, because now she will not get the activated substance from Eliza's spine. But even at this time, Sue was more worried about her show than Eliza. She goes straight for her event, where people welcomed her with great enthusiasm as soon as she arrived. Sue was feeling very good at this time. But just then suddenly she started feeling something strange in her body. She nervously went to the washroom. As soon as she opened her mouth, her 2 teeth broke and fell out, and she still thinks, why don't I use the activator kept at home to create a new version of myself? After this, she quickly left for home. But when she was in the lift, her one ear was cut and fell off. She got very scared. But just then, a man came into the lift. Until that man was standing here, she did not show herself to be scared at all. She acted as if nothing had happened to her. Then, she quickly went to her house and found the activator. The company guy had told at the beginning that this activator can be used only once, and Sue knew this, but she still injects this activator into her body. Just then, Sue started having a lot of pain. As before, her body started bursting from the waist, from which a strange version came out, which looked like a terrifying animal. This was a new version of Elizabethan Sue, in which Eliza S. face was in front and Sue S. was at the back. Eliza still considered herself beautiful, so she put her picture on her face and went to the show. As soon as she reached the mic on the stage, the picture fell from her face, and everyone got scared seeing her terrifying face. People started running away from her, calling her a monster. Now here a man hits Elizabeth's head with a baseball bat, due to which her head crashes and blood comes out of her body and spreads throughout the studio. Elizabeth's body crawls directly to her star, where Elizabeth Sparkle's star was built below. The brief explanation of this entire film is that female actresses in Hollywood and Bollywood are important only as long as they are young. As their age increases, people start ignoring them. With this story ends. Would you like me to find out the name or source of this complete story?